Guys, in this video we're going to be looking at underrated thrash metal albums from the 90s, and we're going to start right now. But before I continue, I'm going to ask you to check out black metal band SHADOWFLAG. Links will be in the description. So thrash metal was close to extinction in the 90s, but yet the early 90s yielded some impressive efforts. But once new trends emerged and took over the mainstream, thrash metal fell by the wayside, struggling to remain relevant. Despite this, there were underrated thrash metal albums which will be explored in this video. The grunge wave nuked metal's mainstream appeal, while groove and later on new metal began dominating metal, with the extreme metal underground positively humming during this time. The failure to progress is often the kiss of death for many artists, and this era left thrash a bit confused on where to take things next. The extreme movement was the natural successor to the style, and most thrashers either split up or slow things down, taking cues from hardcore and of course Pantera, as they took advantage of slow mosh breaks and used them as the focal point of a retooled sound. Between the years of 1990 and 1992, there was a lot to celebrate. Megadeth's Rust in Peace, Kreator's Coma of Souls, Testament's Souls of Black and their Moodier Ritual, Sodom's Tap in the Vein, Overkill's Horoscope, and Slayer's Seasons in the Abyss. So that's quite a bit right there. Even in this time period, some records didn't get notoriety that they deserved, and thrash would mostly become quite a confused mess long after this. So many are quick to write off the entire decade in regards to thrash metal's output, but I'm here to prove why that notion is just a tad bit foolish, and albeit not entirely off the mark. Tech thrashers Coroner weren't the only ones to fall victim to a sudden change in styles in the 90s as things rolled on. They kept true to their cerebral values of Grin, even when taking on the mid-tempo paces and crawling groovy riffs in their own way, paying homage to their countrymates Celtic Frost. In the process, Coroner entrenched a dark, gloomy atmosphere, even when stomping on the accelerator for more traditional thrash moments, and good enough to be the best of the style in an otherwise murky year as metal's decline continued. Arguably the last essential album released during thrash metal's golden era, Time Does Not Heal capped a critically distinguished but commercially underrated career for the LA thrashers Dark Angel, famously promoted at the time for containing 9 songs, 67 minutes and 246 riffs, personally counted by the legendary drummer Gene Hoglan. The group's fourth and final album represents the apex of a thinking man's thrash, not sacrificing an ounce of ferocity while getting its point across. Had it not been for the genre's downfall, this might have landed more of a thud. Easily the most polarizing album of Exodus's career, either you ran away screaming or thanked the heavens for its unprecedented template-busting experiments. Force of Habit, if nothing else, definitely made amends for its impactism and utterly lacking impact. Yes, worthy efforts such as Thorn in My Side, Architects of Pain, Good Day to Die still waged a futile battle against the market-conquering forces of grunge, aka the 90s metal killer. Arriving too little, too late to rescue Exodus' fading fortunes. Yet the Bay Area heroes certainly went down. They will break up soon after, fighting to the last. You don't always have to play fast to play thrash, and that was evident on Forbidden's 1994 record Distortion. As 80s groups figured out how to adapt in this rapidly changing era, leaning toward hardcore was an obvious choice. It embraced the same juggernaut riffing ethos thrash beat its chest with, just with a bit more groove. This approach works delightfully well over double kick drums, and Forbidden's Traces prog made this album a dynamic standout and outline it in a crumbling scene. Victims of Deception is a prime era thrash release. Make no mistake, but Heathen were lost in the shadows of the Bay Area breakout acts. This was technically proficient thrash with heaping doses of prog and neoclassical moments. Unfortunately, Megadeth's Rust in Peace had blown the doors of the idea of tech thrash just a year earlier, and Heathen's second album was never celebrated as widely as it should have been. Guitarist Lee Alters will later join Exodus in 2005, where he's remained ever since. Kreator's Lost Weekend, i.e. their years working beyond the realms of thrash, was more successful than many of their peers, and the group had undoubtedly found their avant-garde comfort zone by the release of 1999's Endorama. Building on the positive steps laid down by 1997's Outcast, Mille Petroza and Tommy Vertelli took their musical partnership to new heights of esoteric post-metal on the likes of Golden Age and Chosen Few, while nodding to their shared thrash roots with Shadowland, Soul Eraser and other songs, many of them inspired by goth rock icons Sisters of Mercy. Necroshine, the song that basks in all the accolades and remains a pretty popular regular Overkill set list staple 2 decades later. It's Necroshine, the album that gets shoved aside, especially with almost 20 records to work with from the prolific New Jersey thrashers. Overkill played the 90s game well and kept the throttle on attitude while navigating a hardcore and groove-inspired sound. My December, Stone Cold Jesus, Iron Fear, Black Line are all real winners if we're lucky. Maybe Overkill will elect to dust some of these off when considering a rarity track or 2 for the next show. Razor's reunion album Decibels is dotted with modern touches, influences like Fear Factory and Ministry, but all that chopping and chugging renders it certifiably thrash. While this record can lay no claim to being among the most exciting albums of the genre ever produced, something like this in 1997 was just so hard to come by that it more than scratched the itch. From with 1992's Tap in the Brain, but that was still a relatively golden era for an already hot band, so Code Red gets the nod here. Some of his previous 3 records were all plenty heaving with lots of thrashing, they just weren't very good. Waking from what felt like a 5-year-long bad dream, this German thrash institution reclaimed their old sound with the crunch and viciousness of a devastating modern production. The Tankard is the real underdog among the Tankard catalogue. The German beer and thrash enthusiasts had already established a legacy of empty cans, frothing mugs and headache-plagued mornings, and their lovely one-track mind of yielded a pure thrash record at the time it was most needed. Quirky moments for a more Tankard staple, making the banjo part in Messing the West and the blatant anti-holiday anthem F Christmas an enjoyable part of the ride. In this year, Testament regrouped with a new lineup, which now included the thrash vets Steve DiGiorgio and drummer Dave Lombardo. The result was most pummeling thrash album in years, but for those years it felt like an eternity for fans who have been pining for a return to form like this. The Gathering is one of the single most aggressive albums to ever fall under the thrash banner, rejuvenating the genre with Do Not Resuscitate, Fall of Silverdome and as the late 90s approached, thrash was just a memory and Whiplash decided it was time to relive the past, you know, a Thrashback. We all agree that it isn't the strongest album from these New Jersey net records, but it still snuffs anything within the realm of 1998. Cycling through riffs as they were dealing with cards, Whiplash seemed to be on a mission to record every thrash lick left unwritten over the last handful of years. Now here's something new. By 98, metal and fun were pretty estranged, unless you consider backward hats and wallet chains fun. Lyrics had gotten intensely personal, and bursting from the grave was Sweden's Witchery, with their debut Restless and Dead. Restoring the cheeky horror and satanic themes of old, Witchery sharpened a new wave of British heavy metal, worshipping particularly Venom, Edge, and raspy black metal vocals and concise go-for-the-throat writing. Don't forget to check out black metal band SHADOWFLAG. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.